That's T.I. with his own son caught in a headlock, right there on camera at an NFL game being watched by millions. And believe me, that moment wasn't even the craziest part, because the smoke he ignited with 50 Cent got so messy, so personal, that what Tip did afterward left the whole culture stunned. This wasn't just another rap beef. It felt like a cultural earthquake. Let's be honest, hip-hop has been blazing lately, and nobody predicted this particular fire. What began as a versus-style challenge between two certified legends quickly spiraled into one of the most disrespectful feuds the rap world has seen in years. Mothers were getting mentioned, wives were being posted online, sons were pulled straight into the crossfire. Even legacies were catching strays in group chats. And right when it seemed like both sides were ready to push things to the absolute limit, T.I. did something nobody expected. He reached out. He apologized, but hold on, we're not jumping to that part yet. Because the road leading to that apology is packed with diss tracks, deleted posts, family clashes, and lines crossed that had even battle-tested rap veterans shaking their heads. And if you think the drama with 50 Cent is the end of the story, stay with me. There's another chapter involving T.I.'s own son, King Harris, and it turned physical on camera in a way the internet still can't forget. Let's rewind a bit. The tension between these two actually traces back to the early 2000s when Tip and Fif were dominating from opposite sides of the country, T.I. repping Atlanta's Bankhead, 50 Cent coming straight out of Queens, South Jamaica, both with street backgrounds that definitely didn't come from some Hollywood writer's room. On the surface, things looked friendly for years, award shows, festivals, industry gatherings, no obvious problems. But underneath all that, pressure was building. Two alpha personalities operating in the same space, both convinced they were wearing the crown. Neither built to play second place. In a business where your status gets daily by sales, influence, and cultural impact, the quiet question of who ranked higher was always floating around. Fast forward to the Versus era, when fans were hungry for heavyweight matchups. According to T.I., during a promotional run in Los Angeles, he and 50 Cent allegedly made a private deal. The idea? Tip would throw out the public challenge. 50 would accept? The culture would get a legendary hit-for-hit battle. Two catalogs full of anthems going head-to-head on a stage made for lyrical combat. But when the time came for 50 to honor that handshake, T.I. says things went quiet. No confirmation, no acknowledgement, just straight radio silence. And in this industry, when someone you expected to stand beside you suddenly disappears, that feels different. By February 6th and 7th, 2026, T.I. had clearly reached his limit. He showed up on the Nightcap podcast with Shannon Sharp, and what came out wasn't subtle at all. It was a direct call-out delivered with the kind of energy that told you this frustration had been building for a while. When you hear it, you understand exactly where his mindset was.
I said I wanted 50. That's what I said. He don't want no smoke, though. Oh, no! I called my man out. He don't want no smoke. He ducking smoke.
That clip flooded timelines within hours. Tip wasn't whispering behind closed doors. He was on a nationally watched platform accusing Curtis Jackson of ducking the smoke. And if you know 50 Cent, you know public disrespect always gets answered. FIF fired back almost instantly on Instagram, posting footage tied to T.I.'s old court cases and dropping a PSA-style meme saying, "Forget Versus. Let's do the stay away challenge." Of course, he added the classic LOL, because that's 50's formula. Turn your opponent into a joke before the first diss record, even LANDSTI. He wasn't amused that by February 11th, 50 took things further, calling T.I. King Rat on Instagram and bringing back snitch accusations connected to Tip's 2007 federal firearms case. In hip-hop, that label sticks harder than almost anything. Platinum records don't erase it. Tip responded quickly, claiming only one of them was actually a rat and insisting he had paperwork to prove it. His message was simple: step up or stay silent. Social media was buzzing, but everyone knew the real ammunition would hit wax eventually, and it did. On February 22nd, T.I. appeared on $1 Million Worth of Game and explained the alleged Versus agreement. how the conversation went down, how they shook on it, and how 50 later acted like the deal never happened. To Tip, that wasn't fear. It was a question of character. The very next day, February 23rd, he dropped a snippet called "War," message received. But he didn't stop there. He released "The Right One," and that record went places most rappers wouldn't dare go. He didn't just challenge 50's toughness, he attacked the whole brand. Painted him as a social media troll hiding behind memes. And then came the line that split the internet. T.I. mentioned 50's late mother. That's when the fault line appeared. Half the internet applauded him for standing toe-to-toe with one of rap's sharpest trolls. The other half said he crossed a line nobody should touch. If T.I.'s diss was the earthquake, 50's reaction was the aftershock. He posted an unflattering photo of Tiny and captioned it with a warning to keep his name out their mouths. A single post pulled an innocent spouse straight into the feud. The temperature instantly jumped from rivalry to something deeply personal. And then King Harris stepped in. Know how y'all is raised? I'm not raised like that. King jumped on Instagram. Liv visibly heated, defending his mother with raw emotion. And then he said something that exploded across social media. So tell your mama dig her up and post a picture that looked better than my mama. It was ruthless. A son telling a billionaire mogul to exhume his deceased mother for comparison. That's when everyone realized this wasn't entertainment anymore. This was real hurt being aired out. King doubled down.
I want to say something about my mama. Your mama. Your mama. Go dig her up.
The emotion in his voice was obvious. This wasn't industry theater. This was a son standing firm for his family. Post a picture of your mama and pay respect. Stop playing with my mama. 50 responded the way he usually does, with memes. He compared King to Pepe the Frog and turned the moment into internet comedy. Even Tina Knowles publicly defended Tiny, widening the conversation and bringing even more cultural attention to the situation. The tension felt heavy. By February 24th, 50 shifted gears. He announced that his Broadway production of Joe Turner's Come and Gone had sold out. He posted it like, "While you're dropping diss records, I'm selling out theaters." But flex moved the battlefield. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't just about rap bars. It was about relevance in 2026. Then February 25th happened, no warning. No caption. 50 erased every T.I.-related post from his Instagram, gone, like the feud never existed. The internet instantly went into detective mode, white flag, legal pressure, or something happening privately behind the scenes. Because historically, 50 doesn't back down. He usually doubles down. Here's where things get interesting. Sources say I reached out directly, not through social media, not through blogs, phone to phone, and the energy was reportedly different. The words circulating, apology, not begging. Not surrendering. Just a grown man acknowledging things had gone too far. Lines crossed on both sides. Families dragged into something that didn't need them, and the timeline lines up. You don't suddenly wipe posts unless something shifts. Since February 25th. Silence. In a feud that was posting every few hours, that quiet speaks volumes. Now skeptics point to T.I.'s upcoming album, Kill the King, and wonder if this entire moment was strategic promotion. The timing definitely raises questions. Industry. History shows that rap beef can boost streams, and Tip knows the business well, but real or strategic, that apology reportedly happened. And in a culture that rarely sees de-escalation, that move stands out. Street Times reported the feud had become deeply personal by the 25th, and personal rap beef rarely ends peacefully. Tip stepping back may have been the most calculated move in the entire saga, but before the versus drama and diss tracks, there was another viral moment. November 26, 2023, Atlanta Falcons versus the Saints. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. What was supposed to be a simple family outing turned into something very different. King went live from the luxury suite. A father-son argument unfolded in real time. Can't. Even, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face? That's not the GOAT. All right then. Go. Tip's question hit hard. It wasn't random. It was a challenge. A self-made father asking his son, raised in comfort, whether he'd ever experienced the struggle that shaped him. The Roach comment was symbolic. A reminder that the streets T.I. survived were very real. And inside that suite, under those bright stadium lights, that generational clash played out for the entire internet to witness. Tip was calling out that fake, I'm from the trenches energy. He was telling his own son plainly, there's a big difference between pulling up to the hood for the vibe and actually surviving in it. Wanting stripes and earning them are two completely different things, and one doesn't automatically get you the other. The message was crystal clear. From Tip's perspective, King's tough guy image looked more like a costume than the real thing. And for a young man trying to carve out space beyond his father's massive shadow, hearing that on a public live stream was basically pouring gasoline on a fire. What unfolded next inside that? Falcon Suite perfectly captured how family drama works in the social media age, where one tap can flip a private moment into viral content. King Harris didn't back down. He didn't nod politely or fall in line the way people often expect celebrity kids to. He pushed right back. And it was obvious this wasn't their first argument about the same question. Is King truly self-made in mindset, or is he still living inside the fortress his father built? The silver spoon talk, the Nepo baby label, the constant suggestion that everything he has was handed to him instead of earned. Those criticisms hit deeper than any rap diss, especially when they come from the one person whose approval matters most. I know you know you, I know you know mystery. I know you though. I know you could hear it, frustration breaking through King's voice. He wasn't delivering some carefully structured speech. He kept repeating himself because his emotions were running faster than his thoughts. He knows exactly who his father is. He understands the battles Tip fought that he never had to face. But he also believes he understands himself, and having that identity questioned publicly? That's heavy. The stumbles, the repeated lines, the words stacking on top of each other, that's not weakness. That's the sound of someone processing the moment when a person they love tells them they're not who they believe they are. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me, I stand on business. I stand on business quickly became the headline from that entire moment. That phrase is King's brand, his slogan, his way of saying he's not soft, not sheltered, not pretending to be something he isn't. Every young man eventually reaches that moment when he locks eyes with his father and says, I'm my own man. King just happened to have that moment with thousands of viewers watching live. Then things turned physical. A shove happened. And suddenly T.I. had his son locked in a headlock. It looked like pure instinct mixed with frustration, the grip of a father trying to regain control once the conversation stopped working.
You are embarrassing yourself and your family. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself.
You are embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. That was the breaking point. 6 seconds that ended up replayed everywhere online. Tip wasn't trying to hurt his son, he was trying to shut the situation down before it spiraled further. But visually it was intense. A Grammy-winning superstar, a man who has faced federal charges and prison time, wrestling with his own son inside a luxury NFL suite while cameras were rolling, tiny, jumped in quickly, physically separating the two before things escalated further, and after that, silence. The kind of heavy quiet that settles in right after an explosion. Soon after, King took to Instagram stories with posts filled with both pain and defiance. He said nobody could check him and even questioned whether his own family viewed him as a mistake. Those posts were deleted quickly, but screenshots live forever. Gossip blogs and hip-hop pages had the evidence circulating within minutes. Tip's public reaction stayed measured. He told outsiders to mind their business and made it clear this situation was family territory. And honestly, this wasn't the first sign of tension either. Reports pointed back to a previous incident at Waffle House in 2022, hinting this might be part of a bigger pattern. At the center of it all, King's push for independence versus Tip's instinct to guide and protect, sometimes with a firm hand.
He capping. He know I stand on business. He know that. Ain't no ever pull my car ever in life.
Even after being restrained by his own father in front of the entire internet, King kept doubling down. He continued insisting his toughness wasn't an act. He refused to accept any storyline painting him as fake.
Stand on business. You drop me somewhere, I stand on business. You drop me in your hood, I stand on business.
That persistence says a lot. This wasn't just about street credibility, it was about identity, about wanting to define himself without constantly being measured against a father, whose upbringing was forged in struggles he'll never fully experience. And honestly, that tension, the father who fought his way up from nothing and the son born into comfort, that dynamic is bigger than celebrity, bigger than money. It's something people everywhere can relate to. Within a few days, the tone began to shift. Signs of reconciliation started appearing. Tip posted publicly about his love for King, saying they were tied together like a knot and that he'd ride for his family all the way to heaven or the abyss. He even promoted King's music, including Father Like Sons with Damani, signaling that despite the viral clash, their bond was still intact. By 2025, King reflected publicly on the moment, saying he had grown into the man his father raised him to be and that they were finally seeing eye to eye, which suggests the Falcon Suite incident, messy as it looked at the time, may have been a turning point rather than the end of their relationship. If you enjoyed this video, click on any of the cards on your screen